Hello, and welcome to the English with Colin Podcast, a podcast for English language learners. My name's Colin, I'm an English teacher in Tokyo, and if you're looking to improve your English skills and gain more confidence in your ability to communicate in English, you've come to the right place. In these episodes, I'll provide you with short conversations in English that cover a range of topics, from everyday situations to more specialised subjects. These conversations are designed to help you practice your listening skills and pick up new vocabulary and grammar along the way. Regular listening practice is key to improving your English, and I hope this podcast will become a valuable resource for you on your language learning journey. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. And remember, the more you listen, the more you'll learn. This is episode 8, and in this conversation, we're talking about making friends in Tokyo. Hi, Sue.
Hey.
How are you?
I am very good. How are you?
I am very well. So today I want to talk about how easy it is or difficult it is to make friends in Tokyo. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think Tokyo, like any other big city, has the same problems. You are surrounded by a lot of people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, you can make friends that easily.
Right, yeah, it's quite strange. You can be surrounded by lots of people, but still be quite lonely.
Yes, because when it's so many people, it's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So you need to break down this amount of people, mm-hmm. right? And a way to do it is through the things you do. Mm-hmm. So if you're a student, the friends you're going to find clearly are going to be from the classes that you take, not necessarily from all university, but you're going to find friends there.
I think if you come to Tokyo or Japan as a student, I think that's probably the easiest time or easiest way to make friends.
It is, and because as a student, and I do have that experience, Tokyo is a place where you can do so many things. There's so many things you can experience, food and places and whatever you want, it's available to you. So as a student, everyone is excited to experience all these things. So going out, doing things, knowing about something happening in Tokyo, I think that's a very good way to make friends, to go out with people, to get to know them.
And I think the other point is about students is that they have very similar schedules. Classes run at a certain time, weekends are generally free, and you've also got the same long holidays, spring vacation, summer vacation.
This is a different situation as a student than if you were working, for example, right?
Okay, how?
Because when you're working, I think Japan in general and Tokyo specifically, it's known for long hours. People do work overtime. It's a culture of work. So people are not available as much. Days off are not necessarily the weekends.
Right.
They can have days off, Wednesday and Saturday or something like that. So connecting with people in that way, they are not that available. And when you're older and you have a job, you probably have a partner, you have a family, you have other responsibilities. So I would say working as an adult working in Tokyo, it can get a little bit more tricky to make friends.
Yeah, I think a lot of your friends are probably going to be through work because those are the people you spend a lot of time with, and probably the people you socialize with more because you might finish at the same time as one of your colleagues.
It's more about availability.
Right.
I would say.
Yeah. It's quite common to have, if you have a group of friends, it's quite common to arrange a time to go and meet maybe for dinner, and people will just arrive at random times. Some people will arrive an hour late. just because everybody finishes work at different times. Whereas when I worked in London, a lot of office type work would finish around about 5:30, and all of these offices would just empty, and then you'd go into town, and the pubs would just be full of people from the offices, because there was a set kind of time to finish work, whereas that's not the case, especially in Tokyo.
I think the same in Mexico. When I was working, you would have your friends from work, and maybe you could create really nice relationships, very good friendships, which I have done. But that would be a group, right? A group that you could go out with, but that's the group that's that group. But you would still have friends from other, from your school years, from your neighbors, other groups that you could go out with, and their availability would be there. You could go out with them. You can finish work, they would finish as well, and then you can meet, right? You didn't necessarily have to go with the people that were only available at that time. So I think in Mexico it's different groups that you can just have friends with, some better friends, some more just going out, but, have a good time. Whereas in Tokyo, the availability might not be not be there, really.
Yes, it certainly becomes more difficult. One piece of advice would be to try and find a club or some kind of group of people who have a shared interest. And
there's so many in Tokyo.
True, yeah. And basically, whatever thing you're into, you'll be able to find people who have a shared interest. And the benefit of that is that they will have a set time to meet, maybe every week or every couple of weeks, every month or whatever. And so that's a way to kind of schedule your social life in a way. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the English with Colin podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to the conversation and found it helpful in your language learning journey. Remember, the key to mastering a language is regular practice. So make sure you listen to our podcast regularly and keep honing your listening skills. We appreciate your support and feedback. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for future topics, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. You can find our contact information in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to joining you again next time for another conversation in English. Until then, keep practicing and take care.